In this episode of CARPe Diem.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. In this episode, we're going to do something special and watch some of our favorite clips from the last season of CARPe Diem. Wanda will be here to discuss carp advocacy, and Dean and Leah will talk about some of their favorite stories.
CARPe Diem, seizing the day for Canadians as we age.
Welcome. Today's episode is a trip down CARPe Diem's memory lane. We filmed 31 episodes in 2018, and in each one of them, we met some incredible people that we call Zippy Zoomers.
Here with our Zippy Zoomer in Surrey this week at the Guildford Rec Centre with Harold. He's been training since he was 29 years old, and he's now 75. Let's see it, Harold.
When I was 29, I ran my first race.
Okay.
And when I was 30, I was at the BC Championships. I won the 100 and 200.
And what are you planning on your training for now?
In 2 weeks, we have a BC Masters indoor championships. I entered the 60 meters, 200 meters, and shot put. Half an hour after our warm-up, we have group drills. Well, the Greyhound Masters Track and Field Club is a club for track and field athletes over the age of 35.
Wow, okay.
And our oldest member is 93.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yes, you won the World Championships for hurdles.
Yes, I won the World Championships for 200 meters, 400 meters, 800 meters.
He's a high performer, and he's not deterred by age at all.
Your shoulders and arms have to be strong. That's why I do push-ups almost every day. See, 10.
Right.
Okay. And this year, there's a World Championships in Spain. I'm in a new age group, 75.
Okay.
So I thought, oh, I'll try and make a comeback and see what I can do at age 75.
We're going to keep walking the track here. In the meantime, we're going to head back to the studio with Carmen. If you have a Zoomer to nominate, don't forget to nominate them at zippyzoomer@carp.ca. How do you do this every day?
You'll recognize Leah Bolton from Fraser Focus and our Zippy Zoomer segments, and that man is just incredible.
He is incredible, but he's not even the oldest in that club. He has another member who's in their 80s and one in their 90s.
93, I heard.
Yes, exactly.
And you know, you said, I want to run like him, and I'm a bit of a runner, but he can smoke me.
We just take some clips for each of these segments, but that doesn't mean that I'm not there for a couple hours and I'm like, okay, Harold, go again and go again. And they just do it. And they're not all physically fit. We've seen that. Sometimes it's mental, it's brain power. So
I have a question for you. You know, you've been doing Fraser Focus for quite some years now, for about 4 years, right?
Yes.
But this is your first time focusing exactly on the carp age, on the Zoomers. Tell me about your experience with that.
Well, in quite a few of the Fraser Focus segments, there have been personal stories that involve the 45 plus market. So it's not exactly the first time that we've talked to these kind of people, but we've honed in more on, you know, their little fun stories. People don't want to retire anymore. They don't want to sit there. It's not like you used to see your granny sitting there. She's knitting and she's watching TV, she's reading a magazine. People aren't doing that anymore. They don't want to.
And speaking of grannies, let's go meet a really inspiring Zoomer.
We are back with our Zippy Zoomer. She is almost 95 years old. She's hustling and bustling here in Vancouver. And her name is Mrs. McDonald, and I can barely keep up with you.
We're going to Davie Street, Kins Market.
Kins Market.
And I walk down Broadway, down to Hastings.
Mrs. McDonald, where does she go?
Oh, gotta catch up with her. I just feel that you need to keep busy, you know, because a lot of my friends have passed away. And if I didn't have my volunteer work, you know, I think I would miss that. Now, this is where I was awarded the Award of Merit.
That's for all of the volunteer hours?
This was for 45 years at BGH.
Wow, that's quite a while.
Yeah, so actually it's about 48 now. 22 years at the Cancer Clinic.
Okay.
And about 18 at the VSO, Vancouver Symphony. I still have dinners for my family and cook dinners. And I bake for my sons and I bake for my grandchildren.
We're gonna keep baking up a storm here with Mrs. McDonald. If you have a Zoomer to nominate, don't forget to nominate them at zippyzoomer@carpe.ca. These are gonna be good.
Leah, how do you find these fabulous people?
Well, there's so many different ways. The best way, obviously, is from word of mouth. We always let everyone know if you have a Zippy Zoomer out there, contact us. So word of mouth is the best way. At our Zoomer show every year, we do ask for people, their suggestions and whatnot. You have friends, I have friends, the staff have friends. If I'm out there in the world and I see someone who's amazing and doing crazy things, I say, hey, I'm looking for and I tell them that. I'm looking for crazy people who are older, just like you. I say it as politely as I can, of course, but yeah, they are just, and they're pretty excited just to come out and showcase, because they've got so many different stories.
I'm so glad that you participate on Carpe Diem to show us what we should aspire to do. So thank you so much, Leah, for all that you do for this particular show. And we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to meet Dean Atwell, a frequent contributor to Carpe Diem and the other half of Fraser Focus.
1, 2, 3, me!
Carpe Diem. Seizing the day for Canadians as we age.
In 2018, we covered topics ranging from arthritis to Zoomer tech. Dean Atwell was there to capture some of the stories for us. And he took some knocks along the way.
Zoomers are the most vulnerable when it comes to personal safety. Learning simple self-defense techniques can help make the difference in whether a senior becomes a statistic or a survivor.
Okay, run him down. Go, 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 go. Yeah. Woohoo! As we get older, we have some challenges. So we don't have the same balancing effect that we used to, nor do we have the physical ability to be able to do things we did 20 years ago. Okay, take him down. Woo! Take him down. That's it, and you're out of there.
Worked in a hospital for 30 some odd years, and I was attacked by a patient, and I was very hurt. This isn't just learning self-defense, it's learning how to be better. Your balance goes, your everything goes, and I've had more confidence in my walk, my talk, everything.
Has no power. I love these ladies, they're amazing. A lot of them came in with physical challenges. I myself am over 60, so I know how it feels to get up in the morning and hurt. So a lot of what I've taught these guys are things that they can legitimately do at their age to keep them safe and keep them out of harm. And fast as you can now, turn. Martial arts itself is different from self-defense. Self-defense needs to be quick, precise, and to the point. You only use it in the very last resort when nothing else has worked verbally. So as he comes closer and tries to grab you, you're just going to keep hitting.
This is the helmet right here. Supposed to protect the head here. Protect it down here. All right.
You're walking towards each other. Here we go.
What's happening? What's going on? What's?
1, 2, 3, knee.
Dean, you went all out for that story.
It was all happening, you know. It was more than them being fabulous at 50. They were fitter than I was.
You're tough to beat on that one.
You know, the perception is based on experience, I find, and our perception of people as we age, unfortunately, it was that, you know, that playing bridge, sitting around at 60, but that's no longer the case. We had an individual that told me, you know, Henry Ford once said, if you think you can't, you can't. If you think you can, you can. And typically, we use that phrase for, you know, to inspire us or to motivate us, but we seldom use it when we think about aging. Yeah. And there's lots of research out there that says that, you know what, if you think you're younger, you'll take care of yourself, you'll eat better, you know, you'll just be better as a person.
Tell me a little bit about some of the other people that you've met through CARPe Diem.
I don't know if I could mention, there's so many, but they are age disruptors is what I'd like to call them. So, you know, you've got people that are 50 that are only halfway through their life. So 50s, 60s, 70s, they're only as old as they feel. And that was surprising to me, and I think for the rest of us, we have to change our perceptions on what aging is and how that impacts us.
Yeah, I agree with that. And not only do you work hard on CARPe Diem, we have a great team in Toronto as well. And here's a story that our host videographer Darren Maharaj filmed for us.
Well, for many Canadians suffering from severe arthritis, something as simple as walking can feel like torture. Luckily, we've stepped into the offices of the Fix Medical Clinic here in downtown Toronto for some expert advice from manual osteopath to the stars, Dr. Liza Egboga.
Okay, so do you feel those crunches that I feel in your feet?
Yes, a little bit more sore than the other parts.
As I'm doing it, do you feel that the pain is decreasing?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, when it comes to arthritis in the feet, after the age of 65, over 50% of women will suffer from pain in their feet due to arthritis. With men, it's actually 33%. And it's not just people who are over the age of 65. Between the ages of 45 and 65, over 25% of women will actually suffer from arthritis in their feet.
Because we used to wear high heels, it used to be sore, especially at near the toes, that part. And the heel. So with the treatments, the pain disappears and then you feel a lot better.
One of the exercises that you can do that's great for helping with arthritis in the feet is to strengthen the intrinsic muscles in your feet, and that's with towel pickups. So to do that, you're using your toes to pick up the cloth, you're going to move it to the side, and then you're going to take the other foot, and then you're going to pass it back. And then you're just passing the towel back from foot to foot.
For more tips on how to overcome arthritis pain, visit carpe.ca. Here in downtown Toronto, I'm Darren Maharaj for Zoomer News.
That was a great show, the arthritis episode. So you're coming back with us for 2019, right, Dean?
I hope so.
I look forward to that. When we come back, I will talk about my adventures out of the studio.
So we're going to get on the Hobie kayak this morning. Their primary propulsion is with a foot system, a pedal, flipper system. Really easy to use, get in and go, simple as that.
CARPE Diem. Seizing the day for Canadians as we age.
Welcome back. One of the highlights of this show was when we had our Zoomer Media founder and CARPe president Moses Neimer on the panel. What did he want to do? Go for a walk?
Most of the stuff we do at CARPe is we deal with governments. We lobby governments. We look for policymakers and government custodians to do things for us. And because of that, I thought, one of these days, really we should do something for ourselves. To paraphrase President Kennedy, ask not what other people can do for you, ask what you can do for yourself. And walking is one of those simple things that you can do for yourself.
And now it's one of the newest CARPe advocacy top 5 priorities for 2018.
Exactly. I have elevated it into a major campaign which I think will pay tremendous dividends in the outcomes of health expenditures in Canada.
He's an incredibly energetic man, one who lives by his philosophy of keep going. In fact, CARPe has an advocacy campaign on healthy living. Speaking of which, I took a cooking class. We are at the Pacific Institute of Culinary Arts with co-owner and chef Julian Bond. Thank you for having me in here. I'm so excited.
We're excited too.
Yeah, and I see you've got some samples of my kind of perfect food, which is salads and seafood.
Exactly. These are, if you look at the ingredients, very simple, 5 ingredients in each salad, yet each salad is so very different. And this is what I call my protein salad, because I'm doing edamame with tofu. And so I'm going to add some fruit to freshen this out, which will be orange segments.
Love it.
Watermelon.
Love it.
And natural salt from sesame, ginger, and soy sauce. And now my power grains.
Yeah, I love those.
Quinoa. And the power comes in shallot, which is a raw baby onion, fresh parsley for some herbs, and some diced red pepper.
Wow.
Simple lemon juice and olive oil. As you notice, even the dressings are homemade and simple ingredients. But even moderation should be kept in moderation. So, you know, a little blue cheese, and then to give some more substance or substance to the salad, a nice green, darker the green, the better the green, the more nutritious the green, some croutons for crunch, and sunflower seeds for that nice little crisp, nutty flavor. And as you're talking about seasonality, try and buy foods that are in season for your extra protein. We're going to use spot prawns today. Same as our salmon, for example. This is a sockeye salmon. You take a whole fillet, and what you're going to do is you're going to put your one portion in a plastic bag like this. Yeah. And you're going to put the salmon in the bowl of water, and we're going to use the water pressure to push out the air. And you're going to go all the way down to the Ziploc line. And you just zip it, and as it comes out, there's no air.
How clever is that?
Left in the bag. You could cook this in a pot of boiling water. And you put your salmon right in the water and cook in the BPA-3 bag. And you could portion this whole salmon, put it in your freezer, and you can actually cook it from frozen in the bag in your boiling water, which makes life so easy.
Chef Bond made that look easy, and it was deliciously healthy. Another thing that we heard from you is that you love to travel and explore BC. So I went on a road trip. We just arrived at the ferry terminal. Elizabeth and I are on our staycation getaway. The adventure begins right now. We'll see you on the ferry. Elizabeth and I are taking the ferry and heading to our staycation on Vancouver Island. Now that we're in Souk, we have to do the kayaking, we have to do the paddle boarding, we have to do hiking, we have to eat and drink and just be a local. What do you say?
It's gonna be perfect.
What a great staycation. Great idea. Woohoo! Located at the water's edge, just 35 minutes away from downtown Victoria, Souk is a fantastic vacation destination for anyone who enjoys the great outdoors. Oh, Elizabeth, this is exactly what we needed. It's amazing. The sound of the waves, the bench. Now I feel like I'm on holidays. We made it to the harbor tour, and Captain Terry, what are we going to do?
We're going to go to the mouth of the harbor and down in Souk Harbor itself and show you around.
Oh, good. It's not going to be a Gilligan's Island kind of cruise, is it?
I hope not.
So that's another True Key resort that I'd like to come back and see sometime, is that one. It's called Souk Point. After a beautiful stay at the Souk Harbor Resort and Marina, I thought, we have to go kayaking. Look at all these great things. So Alan, I'm in your hands.
So we're going to get on the Hobie kayak this morning. They're primary propulsions with a foot system, a pedal, flipper system. Really easy to use, get in and go, simple as that.
Oh, this is very good exercise. This is my last morning. I cannot wait to come back. In the meantime, I'm excited about our next destination. That was a great show to tape, and I hope that you caught it. When we come back, we'll discuss some of the most important aspects of CARPe advocacy with Wanda Morris.
Still ahead on CARPE Diem.
I'd try to get something cheaper probably and eat less so that I had money for the medication.
CARPE Diem. Seizing the day for Canadians as we age.
Welcome back, and Wanda, welcome back.
Thanks, Carmen. Lovely to be here.
Yeah. So, you know, I just want to say that it's been an amazing experience for me to be a part of CARPe Diem and to facilitate some of the CARP advocacy topics that you've brought to the show.
I find that one of the amazing benefits we have as CARP is our relationship with Zoomer Media. There are, as you know, 85,000 not-for-profits out there, each trying to find their column inch of space. How fortunate for us that we have a platform so we can really let people know not only about what our issues are, but have a chance to explore them in depth.
Thank you so much, Wanda, for always being available to be on this panel.
Carmen, thanks so much for having me. You know, when I look back over this past season, we've had some amazing shows. I mean, we've had incredible guests. We had Dr. Ellen Wiebe just before she was profiled in The Economist about her game-changing work around assisted dying. We had lovely Dr. Eliza talking about arthritis. We had Steve Morgan giving us an in-depth analysis of pharmacare. We've done some great work here, so thank you so much.
It's great to have you with us. In every show, we ask, what do you think? Here's what you had to say.
What would you say if we had a government official right here, right now? What would you say to them?
I would ask them why we have to pay so much for our meds when the government has money to pay for those. I don't.
I'd try to get something cheaper probably and eat less so that I had money for the medication. Either that or you choose between kicking the bucket.
Do you ever talk to your doctor about taking fewer medications?
No, I trust my doctor. I got a lot of respect for him, and whatever they say, I just do it.
There are lots of things that where overprescription does happen, but there's very little we can do about that in the system that we've got.
Many of you have written with ideas and comments, and we're very grateful for your support. Keep in touch. And that's the show. Remember, as our CARP president Moses Neimer always says, the best way to keep going is to keep going. So stay zippy and CARPe Diem. Seize your day.